15 degrees, which is warmer than past days, but we got like 10 to 20 mile an hour winds out here coming out of the south. But we do have a clear sky, so we get to see the sunrise. Thanks for joining my channel where I talk about mental health being spiritual health. And today we're going to talk about the meaning of life, love. And we're going to be in the first letter of John, chapter 4, verses 13 through 21. So open up your Bibles. And while you're doing that, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so. It's where I talk about passages from the Bible in the morning, and I just kind of hang out at night at 8 p.m. Eastern time. But I like to get out here before sunrise so I can show you guys this. Look at that beautiful sunrise. Actually, we're about 16 or 17 minutes before sunrise. Hey, Vicky, how are you? And there's Annie, of course, digging, trying to get through the fence for some reason. Don't go through the fence, Annie. You goofy. Okay, come on. Watch out. What are you doing? What do you see? She sees and smells something. I don't see it. Hey, Dolly, good morning. I don't know. I was like you, Dolly. I woke up at 4 in the morning, so I got enough sleep, I guess. I got maybe 6 hours. Hey, Vicky, Annie, Vicky says hi. Look at this sunrise, guys. It's crazy, crazy. All right, first I'm going to talk about the meaning of life, which is love. Now, before we get into the Bible, I want to get into another book that I'm reading right now. It's called Finding God in Suffering, and it's by a Father Christopher Mahar. And in this book, he talks about Viktor Frankl. You may have heard of him. He's a Jewish man who was in the concentration camps during World War II for years. And he wrote a lot on suffering. And a little bit about his life. He was married at the beginning, near the beginning of World War II in 1941 to his wife Tilly. But within a year, they were captured and deported to a German-run camp in Czechoslovakia, concentration camp, where they spent 2 years there. And I think I'll show you this while I'm talking. It's much more beautiful than me with my big nose. I'm gonna use my nose cam to switch over. So what Viktor Frankl, hey Lee. So Viktor Frankl was with his wife in this Czechoslovakian camp. But then after 2 years, they were moved to Auschwitz, the infamous concentration camp that the Germans had during World War II. And it was there that he was split from his wife. They were separated. And there was one morning where Frankl was being marched out hours before sunrise, in the middle of the night, down an unpaved, rocky gravel road where they had to go to a work site. And they were walking in the biting cold, and the prisoners were holding on to each other for stability and safety. And at one point during the walk, one of his fellow prisoners looked at him and said quietly, "If only our wives could see us now." And at that time, of course, Viktor Frankl started thinking about his wife and his love for her and how much he loved her. And at the same time, the black sky started to give way to an orange glow, just like this in the morning. And he thought, in such horrible conditions, how could something be so beautiful? Thinking about his wife and looking at the glowing orange sky. And it was here where he started to write in his book. So Viktor Frankl wrote a book when he was freed from Auschwitz at the end of World War II. The book's called Man's Search for Meaning. And he wrote, "For the first time, I saw the truth that love is the ultimate and highest goal to which a man can aspire." And at that moment, that night, that early morning walking, he grasped the meaning of life. The salvation of man is through love and in love. Now, Viktor Frankl wasn't even a Christian. He was Jewish his whole life. But I like to think that when he talked about this, that he grasped the meaning of old writers in the past, that he was thinking of the disciple John, one of Jesus' disciples, and the 3 letters that he wrote in the New Testament. In the first letter, John wrote, "God is love. Whoever lives in love lives in God, and God in them." That's the first letter of John, chapter 4, verse 16. Because those who acknowledge that Jesus is the Son of God, that's verse 15, have God living in them through his Spirit. And how do we love others? Well, he says that in verse 19. We love because he first loved us. And I think everybody knows how God first loved us. John also says that, teaches us that in his gospel. A famous passage, John 3:16, chapter 3, verse 16. For God so loved the world that he sent his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him may not perish, but have eternal life. That's the main theme of John's letters. And that's what God did for us, sent his Son. And Jesus himself said something about love that I think is very important. And it kind of comes across for us here as the meaning of life here on earth. So it was one of the times when the Sadducees and the Pharisees were trying to trick Jesus. They were trying to trick him, to get him in trouble so that they can arrest him and finally shut him up. But the Sadducees failed. So the Pharisees came up with the question, and they approached Jesus and they said, "Teacher, of all the commandments, which one is the greatest?" And Jesus said, "Well, the greatest commandment is to love your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. And the second one is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself." And he said, all the law and the prophets hang on these commandments. So of course they can't trick Jesus. And what's his answer? His answer are the commandments about love. Loving God and loving everyone else. And he's saying that the entire Old Testament, the law and the prophets, hang on love. So even Jesus himself is telling us that the way to live our life, the meaning of life, is love. So I want you to think about that. And how might God love others through you today? I'm even questioning that myself. How is God going to love others through me today? And here are 2 other questions. When have you been surprised by someone noticing God's love in your life? I'm embarrassed to say I don't know. I don't know when I've been surprised by someone noticing God's love in my life. So maybe that's something I need to work on. And the second question is, how does his love spur you on to serve others? How does his love spur you on to serve others? Because one of the ways to define love is to serve. Yeah. Oh, have a great day, Olivia. Thank you. I'm going back and catching up. Yeah, I wish everybody believed that too, Dolly. And I wish I could be like this all the time. But unfortunately, I'm a flawed human being, as we all know. So I struggle. I really struggle. I'm gonna pan over and see what Annie's doing. Annie, what you doing? You're just sitting there. You're just sitting there, Annie. Okay, nose cam. I hit retouch and I hit mute. Hopefully I'm back. Well, I hope you guys had a great night's sleep. Mine was decent, I guess. Got to get my other glove on. It's very cold. You can see I haven't got my hood up this morning. I should put my other hood up. It's the wind that really gets you. Man, you guys got to see this. It's so beautiful out. Back to nose cam. I'm not sure if those are clouds there. We're gonna see the sunrise or not, but it's beautiful seeing the orange glow on the clouds. It's so awesome. Dolly, how was your night's sleep? I prayed for you. I thought about you. And hopefully your kids stayed asleep and you got some sleep last night. Did you get some sleep, Dolly? Pretty much have the regulars on here now anymore on my lives. I kind of want to stay and see what the sunrise is going to look like. But my fingers are freezing, guys. My fingers are freezing. And yeah, Dolly, that's a good story. Oh, you got a few hours at some point? Oh man, I'm sorry. It doesn't sound that good. Always interrupted, yeah. Annie's kind of interrupts me too, just coming to think of it. Probably because she sleeps on my bed. And she just smashes herself into me and puts her head on top of me, so every time I need to move or roll over, she's in my way. And going back to what you mentioned, Dolly, that is a good story about Viktor Frankl. I never knew that. I heard about his book, Man's Search for Meaning, and I'd like to read it sometime, but I didn't know the backstory and him talking about love. I've never heard that before. And it's interesting, I didn't hear it directly from his book. I heard it in another book called Finding God in Suffering. Oh, you have to be social today. Oh no. You have to be a hermit and you want to be a hermit. Well, maybe what I talked about this morning will help you. Maybe you'll want to be more loving toward other people or interactive to others and share God's love, and maybe you'll impact someone's life today. Whew. I am absolutely freezing. My fingertips are beyond painful, but this is so beautiful. I can't leave this. We've got to see the sun come up a little bit. I should probably go in horizontal mode in the mornings. What do you think? I got to figure out how to do that. Then I could get more of the horizon. And I can zoom in a little bit too. That would be good. Get more of the horizon and be able to zoom in. You're everyone's therapist in real life, so probably true. That's good for you. You sound like a very caring person. And then you're a mother to children too. Discord, what's Discord? Dolly's talking about Discord. Annie, where are you, baby? Don't know where she is. Oh, I can see the very, very top of the sun. I don't know if you guys can. I think it's the top of the sun. Either that or there's a real bright spot. Because it's 7:47. I think that's around the time when the sunrise was supposed to start. Tell me more about Discord, Dolly. I'm not sure what that means. Oh, I think you still think you should make a Discord. I could, but I don't have very many followers, and there's only about 10 people or so that are regulars that come on here. So I don't know what Discord would do. I'm not saying no. I'll think about it. I just don't know. Yeah, I'll look into it. I'm just very ignorant when it comes to that. So maybe I'm just afraid of things that I don't know. Yeah, that's the sun. I wonder, can you live stream on Discord? Or I still have to do YouTube Live? Yeah, I can do Discord. I could start it. Wow. Yeah, it's interesting. Now that the sun is coming up, there's actually less orange in the sky because there's less being reflected on the bottom side of the clouds. Oh, you guys should be able to see the sun here pretty soon. Oh, is Discord kind of weird for young people? Oh, it's an app. Okay. I'll have to look into it. You guys can see the sun there on the horizon. Annie, where are you, girl? I'm not sure if we'll actually see the sun or if there'll be too many clouds on the horizon. It's gonna be close. Whew. It can be parasocial. Okay, I'll have to look up that word too. I didn't do so well on the English portion of my SAT. I did good on my math, but not so much the English and vocabulary. You sound very smart, Dolly. Oh, that's beautiful. It's beautiful, beautiful. Oh yeah, things did get complicated the last decade. I've been pretty much out of it the last decade. I'm wondering when my life will ever get normal again. I think the sun is actually behind the clouds. I think it's fully up now. You might be able to see the orange ball, but it's behind the clouds. I am still live, Olivia. It's just a beautiful sunrise again. A lot of the orange went away when the sun came up, but now we can see the sun. It's kind of behind some thin clouds and thick clouds. All things must pass. Yep. Yeah, that's true, Dolly. All right, guys. Well, now that we've seen the sunrise, I think I'm going to sign off. I'm frozen. My fingers are frozen. My toes are frozen. But I'll be on this evening making my little one skillet or one crock pot Mexican recipe for you guys. It's pretty easy. It's another easy one. One dish cleanup. All right. We'll see you guys. Have a great morning. And remember, the meaning of life is love, and try to share that with everyone today. And I will too. Have a great day.